Welcome back to Gundam HQ. Today we're going to be reviewing the Nightingale DLC and whether or not it's worth picking up. First off, at a 500 cost, Nightingale carries its Mega Beam Rifle, which fires large beam projectiles. Outside of the size of the beams, this weapon is fairly standard overall. Charge Shot A fires a bendable beam Garabi with a decent startup time that is a good tool for long-range sniping. Charge Shot B fires 3 rockets with an explosion after effect. This is a good tool to use when conserving beam rifle ammo. Next up, we have the Spread Shot Mega Beam Cannon. Damage varies depending on distance and the number of beams that hit the target. This is a great tool for staggering opponents from a distance or dealing damage at close range. However, there is a trick to this tool. The Spread Shot fires in whichever direction you are facing and will not turn towards your opponent automatically. However, on the positive side, this also means that the shotgun will never force you into vernier. One method includes starting off by boosting towards your target with a beam rifle shot and then canceling into a beam particle spread shot. A second option is to use a melee attack to line yourself up with your target, sidestep before hitting them, and then fire your spread shot. Nightingale's melee capabilities, while nothing too special, can be used reliably in a match. One of Nightingale's most important tools are its funnels. They take on 2 different forms. The funnels can be sent out to circle your opponent and then fire when you shoot your next beam rifle shot. They will merely circle your opponent until then, and return if you don't fire your main gun within its designated time period. While the funnels are deployed, other weapons such as the Spread Shot and Charge Shot B can be fired without triggering the funnels. Nightingale can also use a horizontal funnel fence that stuns opponents upon contact. This tool is best used when at the same height as your opponent, as it will be more likely to hit. However, one downside to the funnels is that while they don't share ammo, they share the same funnels. Meaning that if you activate one funnel ability and then activate the second before the first is finished, it will cancel out the first attack, and both ammos will be depleted. During burst, with every beam rifle shot that Nightingale fires, 2 funnels will also deploy to fire beams of their own. However, the same funnel count rule applies here, meaning if your funnels are used elsewhere, they will not fire the extra shots. Nightingale Super fires its beam Garabi as well as the funnel fence. The fast startup and width of the attack makes it incredibly easy to land. The funnel rule also applies here as well. The Nightingale Striker has one use and fires a horizontal funnel fence in the same manner as Nightingale itself. Alternatively, Nightingale also adds the Psycho Doga Striker, which has 3 uses and fires 3 rockets per use. While it doesn't down, it can possibly set up for a follow-up of the player's choice. For Unlockables, the Nightingale comes with its 3 titles and 2 new strikers, the Nightingale and Psycho Doga, while also unlocking an emblem and the Sazabi Striker. Overall, I would say that yes, the Nightingale is worth picking up. While on the surface, this mobile suit looks like a huge target due to its size, that actually couldn't be further from the truth. The Nightingale's hitbox is actually much smaller than it appears to be, with its shoulders and part of its back allowing for shots to merely travel through them without taking any damage. On top of that, Nightingale's size also has a very limited effect on its movement speed, allowing it to keep up with most other units in the game. Nightingale's ranged weapons allow it to act as a distanced powerhouse capable of dealing heavy damage at a moment's notice. This mobile suit plays best at a long to mid range, though in close range it is still capable with a reliable melee moveset, and its Spread Shot, which works great as an anti-melee option. Its funnels also act as a great means for pressuring your opponent and forcing movement. A good long-ranged option is to simply send your funnels at your opponent from a distance and wait for them to attempt a landing, and then fire your beam rifle. Whether you're in redlock range or not, the tracking of your beam rifle shot isn't as important as the funnels, which if timed correctly can instantly down your opponent if they hit. However, it's also a good idea to apply more pressure by getting closer to your opponents and forcing them to land using other weapons besides your main gun such as the rockets or shotgun, as the funnels simply maneuver around your opponent and wait for your say-so to fire. On top of this, the funnel fence cannot stun your partner, meaning that you don't have to worry about hitting them in the crossfire. One downside to the Nightingale, however, is its ammo count. This is one of its greatest weaknesses because if not managed correctly, the Nightingale can be left with very little to defend itself with. The funnels in particular can struggle from this, as accidentally sending out the second form of funnels when you already have the first out leaves both weapons depleted, even if the first wasn't successfully used. Overall though, Nightingale is a reliable ranged powerhouse of a mobile suit, acting as arguably one of the strongest 500 cost units in the game. On top of this, the Nightingale DLC also adds 2 strikers instead of just one, both Nightingale and Psycho Doga. While neither are top performers, the additional Psycho Doga Striker works as a great bonus for a normally priced unit. However, before I go, I have a few announcements to make. I have 2 free NA Nightingale DLC codes to give away. They will be given out just the same way as last time, so follow the Gundam HQ Twitter and retweet the tweet advertising this video, and that will enter you into the drawing. Also, follow the Gundam HQ Twitter for new polls allowing the audience to decide which suit I cover next. You can find the link in the description below, as well as a link to the Gundam HQ Discord server, where we talk about all things Gundam. Lastly, remember to subscribe to the channel to get notifications for new videos, reviews, and DLC giveaways to keep up to date on all things Gundam Versus. Once again, thank you for watching, and this is Gundam HQ, signing off.